Hi, everyone. Bill Rentschler alongside Danielle Shenk in the 1011 Now streaming studio. It is Thursday, Danielle, and that means it's time for another edition of Star City Buzz, letting folks know what's going on this weekend.
Yeah, and there's quite a few events because, of course, it's a Husker football bye week, so everybody's trying to fit in the events that they've been waiting to do on Saturday.
This is on top of likely all the weddings
Yes.
and other things, bachelorette parties or whatever it might be.
Pumpkin patches, all that stuff.
all that planned for this weekend. So it is a busy weekend, especially on Saturday, which we'll look at here in just a second. You really packed the calendar full there on Saturday, Danielle.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't too really on purpose. It was just like, oh, here's another event, here's another one. So things are buzzing this weekend.
They are. We'll start off with our big event. Again, we try to kind of go away from the Huskers because we've done a lot of Husker stuff. And we're going to talk about Back to the Future. It's going to be at the Lead Center.
Yeah, we actually had a chance to see the DeLorean. It came and stopped by the station, so we got some pictures there that we'll show you here in a moment. But yeah, Back to the Future here for the weekend.
They've already started. They had shows starting on Tuesday. They have another show this evening, and then Friday and Saturday at 7:30, and then on Saturday, and then on Sunday at 1:30 and 7 on Sunday. So that's going to be down at the Lead Center. I'm sure they probably still have some tickets available. They have a plethora of shows. So again, it would be a good time. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Film and adaptation on the stage there.
Yeah, some accolades here. Winner of the 2022 Oliver Award for Best New Musical, 4 What's on Stage Awards, including Best New Musical, and the Broadway Award for Best New Musical. So it's a good musical.
And you get to check out the DeLorean,
Yay!
which, again, we got to see in person wearing the classic Marty McFly red puffer vest.
Yeah.
We had to be careful getting in the vehicle, though.
Yeah, lots of gizmos and things.
It's like exact.
Yeah, lots to look at. It's a cool thing to, it's something you could look at for several minutes,
yes.
Instead of just like, oh, that's a cool car, bye, like a new Corvette or something. Like, no, this has lots of buttons and...
The flux capacitor is in there. And you have the little display to punch in what date you want to go to. And all the rest of it. So it really is a cool vehicle. Again, should be a good show. First time I've ever seen a DeLorean, so it was a pretty neat experience for me.
I mean, me as well. So, and it was cool, that they brought it all the way out here to 1011 and
very thankful to them.
Let us get a good look at it.
They said it only has 25,000 miles on it. When they're going long distances, because they were in Denver last weekend, they're obviously here now. They ship it in a covered trailer. Then when they're in town, they can kind of drive it around a little bit. But only 25,000 miles on the DeLorean. Plenty of other things, though, happening this weekend, Danielle. Kind of going through the list. We've mentioned this first one before, but Apparition Lincoln at the Cornhusker Hotel. That's every day from 6 to midnight, and that's going to be through early November. Again, that's a speakeasy, a bar for the dead, by the dead.
Yes.
You have to be, obviously, 21 or older, but you can reserve a table. Have you reserved a table yet, Danielle?
I have not. I really should, considering that spooky season's my favorite, but the weekends always get filled up with other stuff. Like this weekend, I'm probably going to try to go to the pumpkin patch as well as 500 other people. Yep. But, hey, that's what fall's all about on a bye week.
That's right. And you still have time. It's all the way through November 2nd,
yes.
So you have time.
And then the Central Plains Reining Association, NRHA, they always have the longest titles for these things at the Sand Hills Global Event Center. It's throughout the weekend, 8 a.m. start time. Then there's the Puzzling Adventure Scavenger Hunt. Now, it's a cross between a scavenger hunt, an adventure race, and an informative self-guided walking tour. It's actually been consistently rated the best local scavenger hunt since 2016.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and it's wheelchair friendly, things like that, so you should be able to get around pretty easily with a group of people.
Combining my love of puzzles and scavenger hunts.
Yeah, exactly. This is one that I would like to try out before it ends on the 19th. And then Charlotte's Web is happening at the Lincoln Community Playhouse.
And that's one that is sponsored by 1011 Show You Care. So we're a sponsor for that play Friday and Saturday and Sunday. But Friday, Saturday at 7:30, and then Sunday at 2 p.m. should be a good show over there at the Lincoln Community Playhouse. We don't stop there, Danielle. Roca Scary Farms, again, going this weekend. Sounds like we'll be there.
Yeah.
If you didn't know it yet, it opens at 5 and it closes at 9:30. And again, Jamie wants to go, but he is too young. You do have to be 19 or older.
Mm-hmm. And tickets are a little bit more costly now that it's October. Mm-hmm. They went up a couple of bucks, but considering it's spooky season, I think it's well worth it. Mm-hmm. I've been to Roca Scary Farms before, and it's a pretty good time.
Well, and even just Roca Berry Farms. So,
that too.
You can hit the berry, and then you can hit the scary.
Yeah. Matilda the Musical is being put on by Nebraska Wesleyan University. That's happening tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Bruce Keys is happening once again. Doug Marshall and Per Williamson are performing. It's actually sold out on Saturday, but I think tickets are still available for tomorrow.
So you can still hit it up tonight. I still need to see it. Not tonight. Today's Thursday.
I know. That's what gets confusing about all of this, because it's like, sometimes we have to pretend that it's Friday, or,
No, it's Thursday today, so tomorrow.
So
you can still hit the show tomorrow if that's what you're interested in. Friday, again, I know a lot of the schools are out kind of end of the quarter. Liam and Jamie are off both Friday and Monday, so I feel like there's more things kind of maybe happening on Friday. A little bit more available. But Friday morning, Friday's at the Prairie Pines over at Prairie Pines Nature Reserve. That's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I feel like maybe a bigger crowd with school out.
Yeah, with fall break and everything. That Friday's at Prairie Pines, a classic that we're just highlighting once again, is available until December or so out there. I know we've had that in our notes before, but I think it's going on for a while. Then a fall discovery camp over at Morrill Hall, and they're talking about remarkable reptiles.
There's a couple events over at Morrill Hall.
This weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those things too with the reptiles, when I was reading the information here, did you know, Bill, that Nebraska is home to 8 species of turtle, 10 species of lizard, and almost 30 species of snake?
I did not know that.
See, we need to go to...
The amount of turtles surprises me.
Yeah, we need to go to this camp, get learnt.
Yeah, you do. I'm going to make you read the next one, because
Suicide Boys at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Doors opening at 5, shows at 6:30.
Special guests, Denzel Curry, Puya, Harper, Shakewell, and Ecstasy. And just so everyone knows, that's spelled with no C and 2 Ks.
And Harper is spelled with 2 A's. That's why there's a hard emphasis. I haven't heard of any of them, but I have heard of Suicide Boys. So,
you've heard them one more than I have. F Street Community Market is going on from 5:30 to 7:30 Friday evening, starting at 6. This would be a good one. The first of many, which I'm sure, again, we'll feature some on here, but you throw a rock and you're going to hit a trunk-or-treat event. But the Girl Scout one, maybe they're handing out Girl Scout cookies. I don't know.
But hey,
if I was an organizer of a Girl Scout trunk-or-treat, I would hand out Girl Scout cookies.
Well, yeah. And if they brought back the raspberry ones, you would see me first in line, because those were so good when they launched them. And I think this last year, they're like, yeah, we're going to take those back. And I'm like, that was one of the best cookies. What are you doing?
What about the cookies?
As a former Girl Scout, I should riot. Tell them. And then also happening at 6, the rooftop show with Rascal Martinez over at the rooftop. And Nebraska baseball is doing game 1 of their Red-White series over at Haymarket Park.
Yeah, they're going to have 5 games. First one Friday. They'll have another one we'll talk about here in just a second on Saturday. None on Sunday, though.
Yeah.
But then it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week that they have additional games.
Yeah, and softball's also doing their kind of red-white thing. It's Scarlet versus Cream scrimmage, but they're doing theirs every Wednesday for the next couple of weeks, so it's not like continuous games like baseball's doing. They had one last night, and they actually tied 9-9.
And we finally got to see Jordy Ball back in the pitcher's circle after her injury last year. Was that like the first game?
Yeah, game? I don't even know if she made it to the first game, if it was like still practice even, but it was very early in the season.
Mexico.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When it happened.
Very early in the season. Glad that she stuck around, though.
Yes, very much so. Excited to see what she's going to do and what that team is going to do this year. Over at the Bourbon Theater, I don't know if it's or if it's just Atmosphere. I might be interested in that. seeing as that's where I do make most of my living, is in the atmosphere.
I was going to say.
Where's it going with this?
I don't know if it's weather related, but you know what? You can go there and check it out for us and let us know.
Doors at 7. Show is at 8. And then over at the Icebox, the Lincoln Stars are home this weekend. They are taking on the Des Moines Buccaneers. Not first serve. Puck drops at 7:05. First serve over at Devaney for Husker Volleyball. They take on Purdue. It's 7:30. I'm sure tickets at this point with Purdue, that's going to be a top matchup.
And Purdue always has kind of a tough matchup against the Huskers. They're ranked number 10 right now. They're 12-3. They've lost to Kansas, Creighton, and got swept by Penn State, but they recently went 5 sets with Minnesota, so good team to watch out for.
It'll be a good match. More than likely, if you're just watching this now and are interested in that, BTN is probably your best bet. But you can always get tickets on SeatGeek. But
or watch it on Fox Sports, I think, is also where it's available.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So heading into Saturday, want to talk first about this event, Danielle, because it looks like a lot of fun. They were actually on Pier, Nebraska this morning. Paper Moon Pastries putting on the Once in a Blue Moon Fall Festival. And so this is going to be down in Cortland. This is video from their event that they had last year. And it looks like a really fun event. They have a car show. They have a chili cook-off. And then they just have a ton of, looks like, good food. Cakes, cookies, kolaches. They have special drinks. And it looks like a lot of it, looking at kind of the menu here, a lot of it, and my wife would really like this.
It's oldies themed, right?
Well, it's gluten-free as well.
I was going to say, because I think they've kind of been making a name for themselves on TikTok.
Come on, Taryn, you got to come get in the shot.
It's a mighty fine day for
She's wearing the shirt.
Yes.
She's got to come back here. We got to go back to a 2-shot so we can get Taryn.
Yes, there you go. But so you know a little bit more about Once in a Blue Moon. They are getting a little TikTok famous, aren't they? Is that right?
I think she said she had over 600,000 shares of her TikTok.
Oh my.
And these shirts are going across the country.
It's a mighty fine day for a kolache.
Because I think a little oldies themed diner looking place, so it's very cute vibe that I think a lot of people are wanting to explore here in Nebraska.
Super cool. I don't know where to go.
So let's go.
This is it. There you go.
And then I got to get out of the way.
I know it's hard with these cameras.
There it is.
There you go.
Look how super cute it is.
Yeah.
And they want to animate this little guy.
Oh, as their type of mascot. Yeah.
He's going to be a little mascot. The little kolache mascot. Her kolaches are huge. I mean, they're this big, filled with fruit. So something to check out.
And I'm sure they're super delicious too.
Yeah, and free cinnamon rolls this Saturday.
So
for the chili cook-off. 9 to 3 in Cortland. Lots of bands, 80 vendors.
Wowza.
What's not to love?
What's not to love
about any of that?
I love this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few small town events going on, once again, now that the bye week is happening. So, another good opportunity to maybe venture outside of the capital city into some of the smaller towns
just
nearby.
Down 77, it's going to take you 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And again, by the looks of the video that they had from last year, it looks like a pretty good turnout. So
yeah,
it should be a good time. But if you want to stay in town, holy cow, there's a lot to go through. First, though, you have to hit the farmers market, Haymarket Farmers Market. Danielle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the last one of the year.
I think so too. I think it's the last one that they had scheduled that I saw. So last chance to get some homemade pasta or gluten-free muffins or homemade candles, flowers, things like that, fun stuff. And then happening at 8:30, the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk over at the Advanced Medical Imaging Surgical Center. Big Red Brawl 2024 is also happening at Hewitt Hall. And from 9 to 3 is Fossil Day at Morrill Hall.
Again, Morrill Hall coming in clutch with some of the, I think Liam and Jamie would be interested. Well, I should Jamie would be interested in the reptiles. I think Liam and Jamie would both be interested in the fossils. Yeah,
and to give a little more context about that Big Red Brawl, it's the UNL Combat Robotics team is hosting their first ever official combat robot event at Hewitt Hall. Registration's $15 per entry, and attendance is free but limited. So
nice.
Yeah,
it's on TV. I forget what it's called though. The robot where they fight.
Like this is an actual show, or are you talking about how to?
Yeah, it's like a sport. Like the people, it's pretty cool looking. All right, Also on Saturday, though, Danielle, 9 to 5, again, back over at Prairie Pines Nature Reserves. They have Saturdays at Prairie Pines. So, again, that should be another good event. They have their Friday event. They also have their Saturday event. Then you can head on over to East Campus for a nut farm tour. Mm-hmm. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, so they say that UNL's East Campus is home to a nut orchard on a vastly overlooked area of campus. So they're going to go for a little tour, and, you know, depending on some of the trees that they find, you might be able to take something home.
Yeah, there you go.
So
there you go.
Also happening at 10, there is the Community Free Market in Sang Park at University Place, or the Makers Market in Hickman.
Both look like they're excellent events. We are not even halfway home, though, Danielle.
From Saturday.
On our Saturday events. Starting at 10, this looks like it's going to be fun and for a good cause. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Lincoln Firefighters Association's Cornhole for Coats. This is going to be over near Boiler Brewing, but who doesn't love to play cornhole, or as some people incorrectly call it, bags?
Yeah. Anytime I hear bags, I'm like, no. We're in Nebraska.
Bags.
We can't call it bags. Doors for that open at 9, and this is a cornhole tournament to raise money for the Lincoln Firefighters Association's Operation Warm campaign.
Oh.
Obviously, it's in the name, but they have a official campaign name, so thought I'd shout that out.
There we go. So 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is over in Bennett, and I grew up living like 5 minutes away from Bennett, and I can never remember if there's 2 T's on Bennett or if there's just 1 T. So I apologize if anyone from Bennett is watching or gets upset at me. I can just never remember, so I went with 1 T this time. But from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Small Town Fall Shop over there in Bennett. Just some boutique shopping.
Mm-hmm. And then the Nebraska Celebration of Books, a literary festival in the UNL Student Union. Our reporter, Chanel Taylor McCarthy, actually covered that earlier this week, so we have an article on our website kind of talking a little bit more about it. And then from 10:30 to 11:30 is the mural tour, and it starts at Mojave Cafe's patio.
Take in some local artwork, some local murals. The city of Lincoln just unveiled a new mural over at the South Branch Library, heavily featuring squirrels.
Yeah.
But I liked it. But I did like
So maybe that'll be on the mural tour.
It very much could. Starting at 11, this goes 11 to noon on Saturday at Civic Saturday. Strive on at the Sheldon not the Sheldon Art Museum, the Sheldon Museum of Art.
Yeah, and so they're going to have music, poetry, discussion, reflection. I think kind of related to the stress around the election. Then also happening at 11, we have the Family Fest at Crossroads Church or Halloween Market in Denton.
And they're going to have vendors, bands, different activities, food, things like that going on. Then you also have Game 2 of the Red-White Series, Nebraska Baseball. Again, first pitch at 2 o'clock over at Hawks at Haymarket Park. Again, Saturday should be a nice day for baseball. Sunday would be a nice day for baseball. A little bit cooler, but
I wonder how you know this, Bill.
I have some inside information
I know
on
a few
it
things.
that we will talk about in just a little bit.
And as we continue with our Saturday, now we're finally getting into the afternoon of Saturday.
Yes.
Eek at the Creek over in Waverly. It's kind of another.
I was typing that in. I go EEK at the creek. That's weird. But now that you say Eek at the creek, that makes much more sense.
It's another trunk or treat event. Costumes are encouraged, but you don't have to wear one. But you should bring a treat bag. Obviously, since it's a little trunk or treat event, you don't want to have them all in your hands and then not have anywhere else to fit all your candy.
Yeah, that's what Mom and Dad is for.
Yeah, Mom, hold this. Dad, hold this. Yeah. Put your shirt out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then from 4 to 7 is Tales and Treats Trunk or Treat at the Pylock Pet Adoption Center with the Capital Humane Society.
So you could do one trunk or treat and then
pop on over.
See some really probably cute animals.
Yeah.
Maybe come home with an animal and your bag of candy. That's going to be dangerous for those parents.
Yeah, it will. I was trying to see if I could find more information. We have a spreadsheet of all of this stuff, and
yes. There's a lot.
Details and things like that. But then at 6:05, the Lincoln Stars take on the Waterloo Blackhawks over at the Icebox Arena. Oh, I had a tab open for this Capital Humane Society's event.
Tell me more.
So let's see. It's for pets and kids. Who knew? A pet costume contest will be had. There will be a bounce house, face painting, and muchachos.
Ooh, muchachos is always good.
Mm-hmm, and the chocolate season will be there. So for kids and pets, it's $10. Adults, it's free. So sounds like a good time.
There we go. Rounding out Saturday. We finally got to the end of Saturday here. 6:30 to 8:30 over at James Arthur Vineyards. They have their world-famous murder mystery. Again, lots of things happening at James Arthur Vineyards. Basically, you get to be Sherlock Holmes for an evening, solve the whodunit, and then, it's James Arthur Vineyards, so there's probably going to be some wine involved.
Yeah, what's better than solving a mystery and treating yourself?
Exactly.
Treat yourself.
That's right.
Then doors open at 7 before the show at 8 over at the Bourbon Theater. Fool House presents the 90s VMAs tour. And somewhat similar over at Backswing Brewing. Doors open at 7, shows at 8. Connor Hangelsman, maybe, stand-up comedy night. And then Dirty Boots in Roca. I think it's kind of just maybe a street dance. I wouldn't quote me on that, but I know that they're going to have country music and drinks and dancing. So
it should be a really excellent evening for that on Saturday. I think that's going to be a pretty fun event. I am picturing Footloose type of atmosphere.
A lot of cowboy boots and cowboy hats, I'm sure. Once you get done over at the pumpkin patch, go on into town and
there you go.
Have yourself time.
There you go. All right, we got more events on Sunday, and a look at your forecast coming up right after this. And welcome back to Star City Buzz. Bill Rentschler alongside Danielle Shenk at the 1011 Now streaming studio. We've gone through Friday, gone through a lot on Saturday. Not as many things on Sunday, but still some good events that we want to take a look at for the day on Sunday.
Yes, so the farmers market over at College View is happening from 10 to 2. This one is happening for a few more weeks yet. It'll be ending the last Sunday, or it looks like November 3rd.
Yeah.
Last Sunday of the regular market.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 10 a.m. is the Pumpkin Run. That's through Canopy Street, the rail yard, kind of by Pinnacle Bank Arena. Mm-hmm. We have a story about the route for that, kind of near going through O Street. So kind of keep that in mind if you're
down there.
Going to be out and about Sunday morning. And then from 1 to 3 is the Putt Kids First Mini Golf Tournament over at Adventure Mini Golf. And at 2 is the Nebraska Basketball Red-White Scrimmage over at Bob Devaney.
That, I believe, the Putt Kids First Mini Golf Tournament, I think, will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I bet there will be a good turnout. Any outside events on Sunday, though, probably going to be some sweater weather. It's nice fall-like afternoon. You won't need it, though, if you're going over to Devaney for the Red-White scrimmage. Also on Sunday, to kind of round things out, 2 to 6 over at Fellowship Community Church, they have their Fall Fest. Again, lots of fall festivals. Mm-hmm. They're going to have giant inflatables, hay rides, family photo ops, games, prizes, coloring pages, candy, all the works, everything that should be included in any fall festival. Sounds like it will be there.
Yeah. And then from 4 to 7 is the Summer Sunday live music series over at Kincaidor that we've kind of been talking about for the life of me. I could not figure out who is performing. So maybe it's a surprise when you get there or karaoke style and you can get up on stage.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know, but that is happening from 4 to 7. And then at 7 is the Arts for the Soul presents Sing from the Heart, music that unites at the First Presbyterian Church.
So plenty of things to do this weekend. No excuses to not get out and enjoy some of it during the bye weekend.
Yeah.
For Husker football.
And it's not going to be as hot as it was last weekend when
it was 97 on Saturday. Not quite that hot, but Friday, I mean, we're still upper 80s. Mm-hmm. So the record, I think, I looked up, I think it's 94 from 2015. But upper 80s, we should be right at like 70. So that's still about 20 degrees above average. So it's going to be warm. There's going to be a few clouds. But then a cold front comes through, and then we're a little bit cooler on Saturday, low 80s, still above average, but certainly more comfortable. And then Sunday. I'm living for Sunday.
Yeah, all of us that channel and love our inner fall. You know, I got my fall fit kind of on. I'm ready for the cooler vibes.
Yes, 67 for a high on Sunday. I have my nephew's birthday party from 3 to 6 in the afternoon. He has a bounce house. Ooh. And I was texting my sister, mid-60s. And she goes, well, I'm hoping for mid-70s. I'm like, well, I hope for a lot of things. But mid-60s is probably what you're going to get. And so you could also use this weekend, Danielle, to maybe begin some prep, because it does look like our first freeze of the year is probably going to be coming. First, maybe widespread frost could be coming into Monday morning, and then into Tuesday morning of next week. Looks like right around that freezing mark. So again, all the gardeners have probably done all that they need to already.
Yeah.
But for those of us like myself whose mums are still sitting out on the front porch and have been wallowing without any water, you might want to bring those inside, or at least get those ready to kind of move inside. Get the sprinklers ready, blow the lines out, and stuff like that. This would be a good weekend for that.
Yeah, and then I know I kind of asked you about this earlier, but since we're on tonight, there's a chance to see the Aurora Borealis. Is that right?
There is a chance to see the Aurora Borealis. Let's see if I can punch it in here really quick.
I know the last time that it was kind of visible here was,
maybe it was back in May.
Yeah, I was going to say a couple months ago. I traveled outside of Lincoln to try to see it, and you couldn't really see it with the naked eye at that point, but when you're taking pictures on your phone, it really shows all the colors.
So they are predicting a G4 magnetic storm, and this is from the Space Weather Prediction Center. And I'm also going to say at the outside here, forecasting the weather can be really finicky. Mm-hmm. Trying to forecast space weather is even more finicky than just the regular weather. And so tonight's, you can see it here, kind of their southern extent viewing line is down through Nebraska. What I will say, especially with the last one that we had, you could very faintly see it with the naked eye. But if you used your phone, you could really see the colors. The colors really popped. It really was pretty incredible to see. And so clear skies tonight, so there will be that chance to see the northern lights this evening. Keep an eye on the forecast. Again, if you just Google Space Weather Prediction Center, there's some good information on there. They have an Aurora dashboard.
Is there a certain time frame or anything?
Late tonight. I mean, sunset's around 7. Obviously, you need to get past sunset. And then obviously get away from the city lights. So if you can go a little north of town, again, especially since you want to view the northern horizon, you'd rather go either north, west, or east of town to look north. And again, grab your phone. Again, even if you don't see anything, if you grab your phone and take a picture, a couple second exposure, you might be surprised at what you end up seeing. So there is that chance. The observed right now is up to an 8.33, so that is the G4 magnetic storm. So again, it is a high-end magnetic storm expected to peak this evening, basically through the early part of the overnight hours tonight. So probably through about 4 5 a.m. or so is when so if you really want to stay out late, Branched Oak Observatory is having a sort of an impromptu watch event this evening, if that's something you wanted to tune in and watch.
Yeah. I'm shaking my head to all of these terms that you're using, and I'm like, yeah, I understand that.
It all makes
I know what you're talking about. Space.
Right. That's space.
Pretty lights. Exactly. Got it.
Exactly. So, all right, Danielle, that's another one in the books.
Another one, and we'll be ready once again next week for another edition. But if you need details, ticket prices, on any performances, things like that, we have an article on our website right now that you can check out with links to all of the different events that we just talked about.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. As always, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of your latest news, weather, and sports. Until next time, hope everyone has a nice Thursday, has a nice weekend.
You've been listening to 1011 Star City Buzz. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.